Hi everybody, welcome to our podcast on the care and use of the microscope. We're going to be getting into using the scope a lot in class, and this will give us a chance to kind of get used to the scope, get a few things written down, and be ready to kind of dive right in when we hit the lab. So first thing you're going to need to do is to take out your lab book and get it to your next available page, which should be following the Winter Rye Lab. And if you haven't totally completed that yet, make sure you leave space to finish your Winter Rye Lab and you can put these down. This is going to be one of two sets of notes you're actually going to put into your lab book, and you want to title this Care and Use of the Microscope. So just to have a few kind of rules and do's and don'ts about the scope. First and foremost, we keep these in really good shape, okay? So they live in the cupboard at your lab station, and this is a pretty typical microscope. It's a compound light microscope, and it has 3 different lenses on it that we'll be using. Primarily, there are 2 on there that we'll spend most of our time with. So we have first the eyepiece here. The eyepiece is a 10x eyepiece, and that sits right here, and it does swivel. Always when you're setting it up, you set it up towards you so that the neck is facing you, okay, which is right here. Okay. When I take out the scope, it should look like this. It's been put away very nicely and correctly, so I'm going to kind of walk you through the different parts. Okay. So always when you're using or you're walking with the scope, you should use 2 hands with it. One hand goes on the neck, the other one on the base right here. So if you ever have to carry a microscope, that's what you ought to do. You'll see that the power cord is wrapped right up. Okay, and this here is the stage. Now at this point when you take it out, the stage should be all the way down. Okay, so the first thing you want to write down is about how we carry it. So always carry it with 2 hands. Okay. The next thing is going to be about how we kind of get it ready. So we have the stage. The stage is all the way down. You have your course adjustment here, which is the big knob. This is going to move the scope and move the stage on the scope very noticeably. Okay, this is what brings it way up. Your little knob right here is called your fine focus. Okay, both of these will be used. There's only one lens where you only use your fine focus, and when you take out your scope, it should be on either your 10x lens right here or the scanning lens, which is 4x. Our 10x lens is our low power lens, and that's where we always begin when we're looking at something. So if I were to take out a slide and put it on here, okay, so we take out our slide, we put it on, okay, we always begin to find and focus something by starting on low power. Okay, so write that down. What you see in the blue boxes, that's what you want to be writing down in your lab book. We start on low power, and then as we are looking through the scope, okay, we take the course adjustment here and we pull it up as we're watching until the object comes into focus. Because the scope has been put away with the stage all the way down, we actually have to use the course adjustment till we see it. Once you have it in focus, you can use the fine focus adjustment here to kind of crispen it up. So again, first we find it on low power with the course adjustment. You use the fine focus to just make it super sharp. Okay. Now, if I need to move to high power, the next process is going to be to take the lens, don't touch anything else once I have it focused. Our microscopes are parfocal, which means if it's focused on one lens, it's going to be pretty much focused in all the rest. So all I have to do is take the adjustments here, and I just move the objective lens to the 40x. That is my high power lens. And that's what we're going to primarily be using, the 10x lens and the 40. So I don't touch anything, I go right to the 40. It's going to look like it's going to hit the slide. Don't worry, it won't. It just gets wicked, wicked close. Once I'm there, I take the fine focus here, and then I can use the fine focus to just check and make sure that everything is all set. Okay, here is a big never, and you're going to want to write this down too. Never ever use this knob when you're on high power. Okay, because if I were to go the wrong way, given how close that lens is to the slide, I'm going to crack the slide, or worse, I'm going to send goo up into this objective lens, and these things are a pain to clean. So you need to be really, really careful. So if you ever need to move the slide, change the slide out, do something because you bump it or whatever, go back to low power first, then you can take the coarse adjustment and put it down. Okay? So never ever use this adjustment if the scope is on here. So once you do that, you can move the slide around, you can check things out, and see how it works. Okay? So when I'm all done with using the microscope, it's really easy to put it away. I make sure that I go back to the low power objective, I put my stage down, I take off the slide and clean it, or I put it back where it belongs. Okay? I turn off the power, I wrap the cord, and I put it away. So it's really that easy to use. And we are going to be, in our first lab with the microscope, will all be about using this, getting used to it, and moving on from there. So that is the real easy way to take care of your microscope. So there you have it. In the next podcast, we are going to look at how we actually sketch and basically diagram what we see through the microscope. So have a great night, and we will see you guys in class. Take it easy.